Good day, guys. Today we'll be doing mathematics paper 1, November 2023, grade 12. We'll be focusing on question 1. We'll do it piece by piece, so the next videos will be uploaded soon. So officially welcome to Mr. Shortway. Let's begin with our questions. Today I'll be doing question 1, and let's see how far we can take it. So question 1.1, x squared plus x minus 12 is equals to 0. So this is factorization. It's quite your grade 10, grade 9, grade 10 work. But let's get to it. Okay, x squared plus x minus 12 equals to 0. Let me just remove this. Sorry about that. So first things first, you open your brackets and then you find the factors of 12, or let me say just negative 12 for argument's sake. Okay, let me get it up. Sorry about that. It's minus 12. So you have to find factors of 12 whereby when we add them we can get there's a 1 here, invisible 1. So factors of 12 is 2 and 6, but if you add them or subtract them you won't get 1, and 12 and 1, so the best one is 4 and 3. So first to write x, and then 4 and 3. So now the signs, it's negative 12, so one bracket must be negative, because if both are negative it's going to be a positive, and we have a negative 12. At the same time, when you add them it must give you a positive 1. So the bracket with the greater value should be positive. This one negative. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. So there's your 3 marks. This was 1.1.1. Now we'll focus on 1.1.2. Okay, what was the statement? 3x squared minus 2x equals to 6. Just to give you a tip on this one, in most cases 1.1.2, or especially in question 1, if you are given in brackets that your answer correct to 2 decimal places, just know, it's just a hint, you have to use a quadratic formula. So first step, I'll write the quadratic formula down. So x is equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac c divided by 2a. This is the equation. So now I'll just substitute. So x is equals to, and in terms of the alphabet, this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. But first thing first, let's put this equation into standard form. So let's just take out this formula and put this equation into standard form first. Here x squared minus 2x, it's positive. When you bring it outside, it's negative. Negative 6 equals to 0. So yeah, now we can write our quadratic formula. Then you substitute. So it says x is equals to negative b plus minus square roots b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So yeah, x is equals to negative, what is our b? Is this one, a, b, c. It's negative 2. We always take the number at the side. When you're dealing with the negative, you must always put a bracket. It's negative 2 plus minus okay, b, it's negative 2, put a bracket, negative 2 squared minus 4, what is a is 3, and then what is c? It's negative 6. We divide everything by 2a by 2. What is a is 3. So yeah, and then if you punch this in your calculator, you'll get, first you punch it using the positive sign only, then you punch it using the negative sign only. The answer that you'll get is, but for let me just write this down for everyone to see. So I'll just calculate everything as piece by piece. So the first one is x is equals negative times negative, it's positive, so it's 2. Let's start with plus square root. When you put everything in the calculator, the one inside the square root will get 76. 2 times 3 is 6. So you divide everything into 6. And then or your x is equals to, so now we use the negative one, minus root of 76 over 6. So x is equals to the first one, they said you must round off to 2 decimal places, don't forget that. It's 1.79. And then the second one, x is equals to negative 1.12. So now you have 7 marks already. But let's move on to the next questions. Sorry about that. Yeah. So now we are at 1.1.3. What's the statement we have? Square roots of 2x plus 1 is equals to x minus 1. So when we are dealing with this one, the first part is to remove the square root. How do you remove the square root? Let me use a different color. This is yellow. How do you remove the square root? To remove a square root, you put a square in everything inside the bracket. So what you do on the left, you do on the right. Okay. Yeah. So now, when you put this everything into the square roots, this and this and this will cancel. So we'll be left with 2x plus 1 is equals to, but on this side, now we have put into consideration, now we are expanding this bracket. So to avoid mistakes, just do it the long way. So it's x times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative x. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative x minus x is negative 2x. And then 1 times 1 is plus 1. Now, you put everything into the standard equation. So I'll bring this side, that side. What do I mean? X squared minus 2x plus 1. Then I bring the left side to the right side. So it's going to be negative 2x minus 1 is equals to 0. Don't forget that. So now simplify this. It's going to be x squared minus 2x, like times minus 2x minus 2x going to be negative 4x. Positive 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're just going to say equals to 0. But remember, the question says solve for x. So what do we have here? We have a common factor, which is x. Take out the common factor. You will left with x minus 4 equals to 0. So now when you reach this part, x is equals to 0 or x minus 4 is equals to 0. So your final answer will be x is equals to 0 or x u transpose equals to 4. Now at this point you only have 3 marks and the question is 4 marks. So to get all the 4 marks, you must indicate which answer or which answer of x doesn't apply or which answer is invalid. In this case it's 0. Your valid answer will always be positive, so the invalid, it's either it's 0, sometimes it's a negative. So in this case will indicate that x equals to 0 is not applicable, and then or x is equals to 4, you get your 4 marks. So it's up to you guys. This is the one I prefer, but you can also highlight the invalid answer this way. This way by saying x is not equals to 0. So it's up to you. It's up to you guys which one you prefer. But now I'll be doing, let me do 1.1.4. I'll just erase this. I'll just erase everything here. Yeah, let me just make the rubber bigger. Was make things faster. Yeah. So now I'll be doing 1.1.4. What does it say? X squared minus 3 is greater than 2x. So now in this one, let's pay attention to the sign. The sign only changes if you divide, but in this case the sign won't change. You just have to put this in the standard order. So let's start. This thing is x squared, transpose this negative to x minus 3 is greater than 0. Now I factorize. Greater than 0. X. You have to find the factors of 3. That would give us 2. It's 3 and 1. Now the signs. This is negative 3, which means one bracket is negative. But in the middle you also have negative 2. So let's check. If we put negative in the bracket with the greater value, negative 3 plus 1, it would give us negative 2. So this one is negative, this one is positive. That's just like that. But you can always confirm, so you shouldn't wrong this thing based on the signs. You can always confirm if the signs are correct by saying x times x. Let's say for argument's sake we put a you made a mistake and put a negative here and a positive here. Just say x times x squared is x squared. 1 times x is x, positive x, and then maybe like x times negative 3, it's negative 3x, so you see negative 3 plus positive blah, blah, blah. That's simple guys. It's not that challenging. But if anyone in the comment section wants me to do the whole chapter of revision algebraic factorization, I can break it down. Just say any topic or grade 12 mathematics or even grade 11, 10 and 9 for that matter. If there's a topic that you want us to start it from the foundation phase and come across it. So as we continue with our question, when you reach reach this part, you have to write, it has a mark, you have to write your critical values, which are x is equals to transpose this one, and pay attention guys, when you are writing critical values, you don't put your O and N. I almost made a mistake. Okay, let's just fix this. This is 0. So what you do, you just break it down. This is your critical values. 3. Just transpose the 3. So this has a mark. After you've done this, then you do your graph to determine your answer. Let me do my graph. Here it's -1. Here it's 3. So like pay attention to this guys, we have -1 and 3. So let's check what do we get. So the trick is, if we get positive, negative, positive, you'll have things something like this. You'll have something like this. But if we have negative, positive, negative, you'll have something like this. So just pay attention and consideration into that. Okay. Yeah. So the next step is to check if we must have a shaded one or an open one. To check if you have to have a shaded one and an open one, you check the sign. For shaded, it's always something like this: greater equals to, less than equals to. For an open one, something like greater or less than. Yeah. So because we've dealt with that, so let's get back to our question. Let me just write here neatly. Yeah. So now let's check. You use the standard equation. What do? You put values that are less than or -1, which is your -2, -3, all those things in your calculator. So let's do it. -2, -2, -3. Let's check what you get. Let me just punch this first. -2 squared -2, 2 -3. We get a positive equals to 5. We get 5. So that's a positive. Now you put any number that's in the middle of -1 and 3. Let's, for argument's sake, let's put 2. Let's check if we put 2 what we get. So let me just write it down. Minus, but you do this into your at the side. You really don't need to write this in a question paper to save time. It has no marks. I'm just doing it to show how do we arrive at the answer. Let me see what we get. We get -3. Here we are just focusing on the side. So here we got a positive, here we got a negative. Now let's check this side. I'll do it here. You put a number that's greater than 3. Let's put 4. You can even put 5 or 6. So it's 4 squared minus 2, 4 minus 3. Let's check. What answer do we get? We get a 5. We get a 5. So it gets a positive. Sorry for that. Let me just try and write it next. Yeah. Let me just erase this. And then we get back to our question. Yeah. So because now we know we get a positive, a negative, a positive. Just erase this. Then we used open ones since it's greater than, it's not equals to, there we have no equals to. I've explained that. Boom. So now we write our final answer. So our final answer is x. To get a positive here, we got a positive, a negative, and a positive. To get a positive here, what did we do? We used a number that is less than -1. That's how you see if you have to put a less than or a greater than. Or the reason we use or is because it's not joined. It's not joined because of the negative. If it was plus, we would use firstly this, and we will use and instead of or. So because it's not joined, we use or x. To get a positive, we said x must be greater than 3. Greater than 3. So if you have done this, it gets all the 4 marks. Yeah, this is the method I prefer, but others also use to illustrate this graph a parabola. But even if you didn't indicate it with a parabola, the way we did it, it's enough to get you full marks. It's just to understand what we're doing. Yeah. So we are done with 1.1.4. I think I'll do 1.2 that side. Yeah, let's do it that side. Okay, 1.2, we are dealing with simultaneous equations. Okay, they are not that difficult, they are simple. Just have to write our equations down. We have x plus 2 equals to 1 to y, and then we have 1 over x it's okay, it's not equal, it's plus 1 over y equals to 1. So the first step is to take one variable. So either take y is equals to whatever, or take x is equals to whatever. But here, if you have to take y, now you'll have to divide all those things. So the easiest, you can just take x. So you'll say x is equals to x is equals to 2y. We transfer this to this side, negative. So let's call this one equation 1. I'll call this one equation 2. Yeah. So when you're done this, you tell the marker substitute. It's fine if you write it like this, abbreviation. Substitute equation 1 into 2. So you write the equation you're going to substitute in first. So 1 over x plus 1 over y equals to 1. Now let's substitute it. So 1 over, what is x? We have it here. X is equals to 2y minus 2. So the whole point is to eliminate x and have y and only deal with y, or to only deal with x. So even if you took y, you'll still get the same answer. So, but if you want me to do it on a separate video, like simultaneous equation separately, you can deal with that, no problem. Okay, it's not equals to, it's plus 1 over y equals to 1. Yeah. So at this stage, what do? We have fractions here. You can just take out a common factor, and then the common factor is 2y minus 2 and y. You take out the common denominator. Got the common factor, just take out the denominators, you times them, and then you cross multiply. Take out the denominators, then you cross multiply. So 2y minus 2 times 1 is 2y minus 2. It's 2y minus 2. Okay, so I minus 2, and then y times 1 is plus y. So yeah, now I've dealt with that, but now I don't have space, guys, but I'll make a plan. So there's a common term there, so you can just add them. It's 3y minus 2, remember it's equals to 1, over, and we can just time this, is 2y squared minus 2y equals to 1. Let me see if I can remove this, just for space. So yeah, so this is equation 2, this one is equation 1. So what do? Now we cross multiply, or you can just times both sides to the denominator. Let's do that. So y squared minus 2 y squared minus 2y. This is minus, guys. Lots of space here. So this and this will cancel. We'll be left with this and this. So now it's 3y minus 2. 2y minus 2 equals to 1 times this, it's this. 1 times 2y squared minus 2y is that. So the answer will be 2y squared minus 2y. Then when you reach this point, you put this in your standard equation. So I'll just bring this part to the right. So it's 2y squared minus 2y. If you bring this one, it's negative 3y plus 2 equals to 0. It's 2y squared. It's negative 5y plus 2 equals to 0. If you are not sure when you reach this point, you can just use your quadratic formula, which says, you know it, guys, x is equals to negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, I will first use the quadratic formula. Okay, I'll end with the quadratic formula. There's another short way. Okay, we fix this. So equals to 1 here. So yeah. Start with the first method and then we'll end with the quadratic formula. But it doesn't always happen to all the sums, but in this one it's possible. Just need the factors of 2. And someone can say to me, so the factors of 2, how come they can give me negative 5? But the trick is on the value of y squared, which is 2. So if it's 2y and y, factors of 2 is 2 and 1. So you have to check if you put 2 here at this side. The trick is putting the right value on the right side. If you put 2 here, now 2 times 1 will give us 2. So the trick is putting 2 this side. Let's check. 2y times y is 2y squared. 2y times 2 will give us 4y. 1 times y will give us 1y. So if you add them, you can get 5y. But it's negative 5y, and this one is positive. If it's a negative in the middle and a positive value at the end, you just use your negatives. This is negative and negative. Now negative 2y. 2y times negative 2 is negative 4y. It's negative y. Negative 4y and negative y give you negative 5y. And then negative 1 times negative 2 will give you 2. So these are the values. So the final answer is 2y minus y equals to 0 and y minus 2 is equals to 0. Oh. And you want y, so 2y is equals to 1 divided by 2 by 2, we get y is equals to 1 over 2, or y is equals to y is equals to 2. So these are your y, this is your y values. I don't have space, guys, so I'll have to erase this. Okay, I'll just rewrite the equations only. Okay. Plus 1 minus y is equals to 1. That's equation 2. So now, these values of y, you can substitute them in any equation. But the simplest one is equation 1, the original equation. So I would say substitute. This is as equation, not equation in this case, y. So substitute y into equation 1, and then you write that equation. It's this one. All this is equation 1. I just made x the subject of the formula. But if you would like, you can say this is equation 1 and write this one beneath and say it's equation 2, and then this one will have to be equation 3. It's up to you guys. I was writing the equation plus 2 equals to 2y. Then you substitute y. So x plus 2 equals to 2 into what is our y? 1 over 2. So x is equals to 2 plus the half of 2 is 1. X is equals to 1 minus 2, which means x is equals to negative 1. Your first x. And then the second x, you still use the same equation. X minus 2 is equals to 2y. Because of space, in this one I'll jump the baby steps. It's x plus 2 equals to 2. Your y in this case is 2, which is 4. So your x is equal to, this is 4, guys. 4, you transpose this one. 4 minus, okay, I'll just write it. It's 4 minus 2, which is equals to 2. So yeah, when it comes to simultaneous equation, what you must bear in mind, you must have 4 answers. You must have 4 answers at the end. So this was our question 1.2. Now let's do 1.3. Because of space, I'll just wrap here. Make the wrapper bigger. Okay. It's 2m plus 1 plus 2m is equals to 3n plus 2 minus 3n. You have to know your laws of exponents. You have to know the laws of exponents, guys. So first break them here. So when it's plus 1, it times. the bases are the same. Raised to 1 plus 2m equals to 3n. It's plus. If it was negative, we are going to divide, times bases are the same, raised to 2 minus 3n. Now there's a negative sign, there's a positive sign, and what you can see here, there's common factors. You can take out a common factor. Look at this value and this one, and look at this one and this one. Okay, let's do it now. If you take out 2m, you'll be left with 2 plus 1. When you take out 2m, the only thing that will be left is 1 equals to. If you take out 3n, you'll be left with 3 raised to 2, it's 9. Or we can write it like this, the same. Minus, if you take out 3n, you'll be left with 1. So the final answer here is 2m. This is 3 equals to 3n minus 8. But now 8, they can change it in exponent form in terms of 2. So it will be 2m, but 3 is equals to 3n. So 2 raised to 3. Now look at this, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, there's 3 here, there's 3 here. So basically what I'm trying to say, the bases are the same. The bases are the same. So we can just say 2m is equals to 2 raised to 3. You see, and 3 is equals to 3n. So if the bases are the same, the exponents are equal. Here m is equals to 3 and n is, remember there's an invisible one here, so n is equals to 1. Right, done. But let's read the question. Determine the values of m plus n. So the question wants m plus n. What is m? It's 3. What is n? It's 1. 3 plus 1 is equals to 4. This is the final answer. Okay, it's all to 24 marks. This one, guys, question 1, you must make sure, guys, you collect all the marks. It's very easy. So thanks for tuning in. This is the end of the video, guys.